I welcome you to my channel. Subscribe and listen to my new stories every day. The living room is dim, the remnants of the day fading into twilight as I sip my lukewarm coffee. My son, Jamie, bursts through the door, his face a mix of excitement and apprehension. He's clutching his phone like it's a fragile treasure, and I know something's up. "Dad, you need to see this," he says, his voice trembling slightly. The air in the room thickens as I set my cup down, a sense of dread washing over me. "What is it?" I ask, trying to mask the anxiety creeping into my chest. Jamie fidgets with the phone, scrolling rapidly before finally turning the screen toward me. The image appears, sharp and searing, my wife, Lisa, laughing in a sunlit park, her head tilted back in that carefree way I used to love. But it's not just her smile that stops my breath, it's the man beside her, lips pressed against hers, the intimacy of the moment seeping through the pixels. I feel my heart drop, and an icy grip tightens around my throat. "Who is that?" I manage, though I already know. "Jake," Jamie replies, his voice a whisper. "He's in my grade." The name echoes in my mind, a hollow bell tolling the end of everything I thought I knew. Jake, my son's friend. I glance at Jamie, his eyes wide with a mix of horror and confusion. "You can't be serious." I thought it was a joke at first. "He showed us pictures at the park today. He was bragging about her like she's some trophy." Jamie's voice cracks, and I see the hurt in his eyes. "I didn't know it was Mom until I looked closer." A wave of nausea rolls over me. Lisa, my wife, has been living a double life, and I was none the wiser. The betrayal cuts deeper than I can express. I don't want to show Jamie the pain roiling inside me, but it's a struggle. "I'm sorry, buddy," I say, swallowing hard. "I know this is tough." Jamie runs a hand through his hair, frustration spilling over. "Why would she do this, Dad? We were a family." As he speaks, a darkness begins to settle in my mind. This isn't just about my shattered trust. No, it's about revenge. I can't let this go unanswered. My heart races, and a plan starts to form, a way to make her feel the weight of her choices. "I don't know, Jamie," I say, keeping my voice calm. "But sometimes people make choices that hurt the ones they love." "Are you going to talk to her?" he asks, uncertainty etching his features. "Not yet," I reply, my resolve hardening. "There's more to this. I need to think." He nods, though his face reflects the turmoil we're both feeling. I send him to his room, telling him I need a moment to myself, to process. Once he's out of sight, I grab my phone and step out onto the balcony, the cool night air biting at my skin. Thoughts race through my mind as I lean against the railing, staring at the stars flickering in the vast expanse. I'm consumed by images of Lisa's laughter, the way she used to look at me, and the deception that lurked behind it. I replay the moment Jamie showed me the photo, the gut punch of betrayal, and it crystallizes into something sharp and clear: revenge. A plan begins to form, a way to dismantle the life Lisa has carefully constructed. She thinks she can have it all, but she's about to learn the truth: actions have consequences. The next morning, I wake up with a clarity I haven't felt in days. I need to gather evidence, to expose her and ensure she understands the depth of her betrayal. I decide to start by meeting with Jake's parents, using their trust to my advantage. They have no idea what their son is involved in, and I intend to take full advantage of that. The thought of Lisa's face when everything unravels sends a rush of adrenaline through me. This is no longer just about my heartbreak, it's about crafting a narrative of her own making, a story where she becomes the villain. I set my plan in motion, each step more exhilarating than the last. I can almost see it, her life crumbling beneath the weight of her choices, while I stand back and watch, finally free of the chains she bound me with. "Dad?" Jamie's voice pulls me from my reverie. I turn to see him at the door, uncertainty still shadowing his face. "Yeah. Are we going to be okay?" he asks, his vulnerability breaking my heart all over again. I take a deep breath, forcing a smile. We'll be better than okay, Jamie. We'll be just fine. Little does he know, I'm about to unleash a storm that will change everything. As I plan my next move, the darkness inside me feels alive, eager for the confrontation ahead. Lisa's world will soon come crashing down, and I'll make sure she remembers who she betrayed. The sun rises over the city, casting a golden hue across the skyline, but there's no warmth in my heart. The plan is already taking shape, and each tick of the clock fuels my determination. I pull on a jacket and head out, my mind racing with possibilities. I need to find Jake's parents, and I know exactly where to look. At the local coffee shop, the buzz of morning patrons fills the air. I spot them seated at a corner table, Jake's father animatedly discussing something with a friend. I take a deep breath and approach, my pulse quickening. This is the first step in my retribution, and I need to stay composed. "Excuse me, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson," I say, trying to keep my voice steady. They both look up, surprise flickering across their faces. "Yes." Mrs. Thompson replies, a hint of curiosity in her tone. "I'm Eric, Jamie's dad." I extend a hand, forcing a smile. "I hope I'm not interrupting." "Not at all," Mr. Thompson says, shaking my hand. "We were just discussing sports. Please, have a seat." "Thanks." I slide into a chair, forcing myself to focus. "I wanted to talk to you about something concerning Jake." Their expressions shift slightly, curiosity replacing the warmth. "What's on your mind?" Mrs. Thompson asks, leaning in. "I heard something disturbing from Jamie yesterday. Apparently, Jake has been bragging about his relationship with a woman. A woman who happens to be my wife." The room goes silent. I can see the pieces click into place in their minds, the realization dawning on them. "Your wife?" Mr. Thompson finally manages. "You mean Lisa?" I nod, the name hanging heavy in the air. "Yes. Jake showed Jamie pictures of them together, and it's not just a passing thing. This is serious." Mrs. Thompson's hand covers her mouth in shock. "Oh my God. I can't believe it." "Neither can I say, forcing my voice to remain calm. "I thought you should know. As parents, we need to keep each other informed about our kids, especially when it comes to something like this." "I'll talk to Jake," Mr. Thompson says, anger flickering in his eyes. "He needs to know that this isn't just a joke." "Please do," I reply, leaning back, letting their reaction sink in. I think it's crucial that he understands the impact of his actions, not just on our families, but on his future. The conversation takes a sharp turn as Mrs. Thompson's expression shifts to one of concern. "How are you handling this, Eric?" "I can only imagine." "Handling it?" I echo, a bitter laugh escaping my lips. "I'm still processing it, honestly. But I won't let her get away with this." Mr. Thompson leans in, his voice low and intense. "What do you mean? What are you planning to do?" I lock eyes with him, a steely determination rising within me. I want to make sure Lisa feels the consequences of her choices. She can't just betray our family and walk away unscathed. They exchange uneasy glances, and for a moment, I wonder if they're second-guessing their son's involvement in all this. But the anger bubbling inside me pushes me forward. "I need your help. I want to set things in motion." "What do you have in mind?" Mrs. Thompson asks cautiously. I outline my plan, careful to keep it vague but compelling. "I think we should arrange a family gathering, a barbecue or something. Invite everyone. Get Jake to bring his friends, including Lisa. I want her to be confronted, to face what she's done in front of everyone. It's time for the truth to come out." The couple nods, a mix of horror and support in their eyes. "We'll do it," Mr. Thompson says, determination set in his jaw. Let's make sure she knows there are repercussions. As we finalize the details, a surge of adrenaline rushes through me. I can almost see the scenario playing out, Lisa's confusion turning to humiliation as the truth surfaces. It's a twisted sense of justice, but it's the only thing that feels right at the moment. Once we part ways, I can't shake the anticipation buzzing inside me. My phone vibrates, and I glance down to see a message from Jamie. Are we still going to see Mom later? I hesitate, my heart clenching. Yeah, I type back, but it might be a bit complicated. His response comes quickly, okay. I just hope she's okay. I sigh, knowing Jamie doesn't fully understand the depths of betrayal yet. He believes in the family we once were, while I'm plotting the end of that illusion. I need to protect him from the truth for just a little longer. Later that evening, I face Lisa at home. She's in the kitchen, humming softly to herself as she prepares dinner, completely unaware of the storm brewing. I try to keep my expression neutral, but anger bubbles beneath the surface. Hey, I say, forcing the words out. Hey, honey. How was your day? She turns, her smile bright, and for a fleeting moment, I'm caught off guard by the familiarity of it. It was interesting, I reply, my voice tight. We need to talk. Her smile falters. About what? I take a deep breath, weighing my next words. About Jake. And about us. She raises an eyebrow, confusion flickering across her face. What do you mean? I step closer, the tension palpable. I know about you and Jake, Lisa. I know what you've been doing behind my back. The color drains from her face, and for a moment, I relish the shock in her eyes. This is only the beginning of what's to come. Eric, I can explain, she stammers, but I cut her off. Save it. I'm done listening to your excuses. This isn't just about you anymore. Her expression shifts from shock to something more calculating. You think you can control this? You think you can just? I'm not trying to control anything, I reply, my voice low and firm. I'm going to make sure you understand what you've done. And I'm going to make it hurt. I turn and leave her standing there, my heart pounding in my chest. The plan is in motion, and I'm no longer the passive victim in this twisted game. I'm ready to take back my life, even if it means watching hers crumble to dust. The following days pass in a blur of tension and anticipation. I go through the motions of work and parenting, but my mind is consumed with thoughts of Lisa and the impending confrontation. Each time I see her, I feel a mix of anger and pity. I once loved this woman, but now she feels like a stranger. I spend hours strategizing the upcoming barbecue at the Thompsons' house. Mr. Thompson has assured me that they'll handle the invitations to Jake's friends, but I can't shake the nagging feeling that I need to be involved. This is my moment to ensure the truth is laid bare. As Saturday approaches, I can sense the charged atmosphere in my home. Lisa seems oblivious to my internal turmoil, her usual upbeat demeanor in full force as she chats about recipes and guests. Each cheerful comment feels like a knife twisting in my gut. Are you excited about the barbecue? She asks one evening, stirring a pot on the stove. Yeah, sure, I reply, trying to keep my voice neutral. It'll be nice to see everyone. Right? She glances over, her smile brightening the kitchen. I hope Jake brings that cute girl he's been seeing. She seems sweet. Sure, I say, my heart racing. Sweet. Just like your last friend, right? She looks at me, confusion knitting her brow. What do you mean? I can't help it, I push a little harder. You know, the one you've been kissing. It's hard to keep track. Her expression shifts, the cheer vanishing like mist. Eric, what are you talking about? I take a deep breath, ready to unleash everything I've held back. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't hide from it forever. Eric, please, she pleads, her voice trembling. I don't know what you think you know, but I can explain. Save it for later. You'll have plenty of time to explain at the barbecue. I turn away, leaving her to stew in the brewing storm. That evening, I text Mr. Thompson, all set for tomorrow? Absolutely. We're ready. My excitement is palpable as I prepare for the confrontation. I visualize the scene, Lisa surrounded by friends, the laughter and chatter growing louder, only to be pierced by the truth. I can almost hear the gasps, the shock rippling through the group. The next day arrives, and the sun shines bright, mocking my inner turmoil. I arrive at the Thompsons' house early, helping set up the grill and arrange chairs. Families start to filter in, laughter mingling with the aroma of grilled burgers and hot dogs. My pulse quickens with each familiar face, anticipation clawing at my insides. When Lisa arrives, I watch her from a distance. She seems cheerful, but I know the truth lies just beneath the surface. Jake is with her, and I notice him giving her a playful nudge, his laughter ringing out. My anger simmers, but I force myself to remain calm. As the afternoon unfolds, I engage in small talk, keeping my demeanor casual. But inside, I'm a coiled spring, ready to unleash chaos. At one point, I catch Lisa alone, pouring herself a drink. You seem to be having a good time, I say, leaning against the counter. She turns, her eyes narrowing. What's going on, Eric? Why are you acting so strange? I'm just waiting for the right moment, I reply, a smirk playing on my lips. What does that mean? She demands, her voice rising slightly. I just shake my head, watching her unease grow. You'll see. The afternoon drags on, but finally, I feel the moment approaching. I gather the group around the patio, clinking glasses to get everyone's attention. My heart races, adrenaline pumping as I prepare to drop the bomb. Hey everyone, I start, forcing a smile. Thanks for coming today. I wanted to share something important with all of you. The laughter fades, and eyes turn toward me. I can see Jake shifting uncomfortably beside Lisa, his expression turning from playful to apprehensive. What's going on, Dad? Jamie asks, glancing between me and Lisa. I think it's time for the truth to come out, I say, my voice steady. Lisa and I have been going through some issues lately, and I think you all deserve to know why. I lock eyes with Lisa, who stands frozen in place, her face paling as realization dawns. Eric, don't, she starts, but I cut her off. No, let's not sugarcoat this. Lisa has been cheating on me with one of Jamie's friends, Jake. The silence is deafening. Shock ripples through the crowd, and I can see the confusion on their faces, especially Jamie's. Jake, someone whispers, disbelief etched in their voice. Yes, Jake, I confirm, my heart pounding as I watch the fallout. This isn't just some rumor. I've seen the evidence myself. Photos, conversations, everything. Jake's face goes white as he processes the accusation. Dad, I didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't know. Didn't know what? I snap, turning my ire toward him. That your actions have consequences. That you've hurt not just me, but Jamie as well. Lisa steps forward, desperation in her eyes. Eric, please. This isn't how you should handle this. We can talk about this later. No, Lisa, I say firmly. This is the only way you'll understand the weight of your betrayal. The atmosphere is charged with tension as I watch the realization settle over everyone. Conversations buzz around me, shock evident on every face. I see the pity in some eyes, the outrage in others. Everyone, I'm sorry you had to find out this way, I say, my voice steady despite the chaos. But I won't let her get away with this. She needs to know the pain she's caused. As I step back, I can see Jamie's face contort with confusion and hurt. Why would you do this, Dad? Why now? Because the truth needed to come out, Jamie. You deserve to know what she's done. Lisa's eyes are wide, filled with panic. Eric, please don't do this. We can fix this. Just give me a chance. Fix what? I retort, my voice sharp. You've broken this family, and there's no going back. The tension in the air is suffocating, and I feel a sense of liberation mixed with dread. This is only the beginning of the fallout, but I stand firm, ready to face whatever comes next. The storm I've unleashed will echo through all our lives, and there's no turning back now. The aftermath of the barbecue leaves a heavy silence hanging over our lives. Lisa retreats into herself, her smiles replaced by hollow expressions, while Jake grapples with the weight of his actions. The neighborhood buzzes with whispers and sideways glances, but I remain steadfast in my resolve. This isn't over, not by a long shot. Days turn into weeks as I meticulously plan my next moves. Every interaction with Lisa is calculated, every conversation a step closer to dismantling the life she's built. The betrayal runs deep, cutting through the fabric of our family and friendships, leaving nothing but raw anger in its wake. One evening, I receive an unexpected call from Mr. Thompson. His voice is strained, tinged with guilt. Eric, we need to talk. It's about Lisa. I agree to meet him at the same coffee shop where our plan began. As I walk in, the familiar aroma of roasted beans and the murmur of conversations greet me, but today, there's an undercurrent of tension in the air. Mr. Thompson sits at our usual corner table, his hands clasped tightly together. I didn't want to believe it at first, he admits, his eyes avoiding mine. But after seeing how Jake's been acting, I started to suspect something was off. I lean forward, my gaze unwavering. What did you find out? He sighs, rubbing his temples. Jake's been struggling. The guilt from what happened with your wife has been eating him alive. He confided in me that he never intended for things to go this far. A flicker of sympathy crosses my face, but it's quickly replaced by determination. I appreciate your honesty, but this isn't something we can just brush under the rug. Lisa needs to face the consequences. Mr. Thompson nods, understanding the gravity of the situation. I agree. But there's something else you should know. Lisa has been seeing someone else behind my back too. My blood boils at the revelation. Not only did she betray me with Jake, but she's been deceitful with another man. This was the final straw. As the days progress, I watch Lisa closely, documenting every interaction, every lie she tells. The evidence stacks up, and I feel a dark satisfaction knowing that soon, her facade will crumble entirely. One night, I confront her again. She's in the living room, scrolling through her phone, oblivious to the storm about to hit her. I stand behind her, the room thick with tension. Lisa, I say, my voice cold and steady. She jumps, startled by my sudden presence. What do you want, Eric? She asks, trying to mask her fear with indifference. I want the truth, I reply, my eyes piercing into hers. I know about Jake, and I know about the other man. I won't let you continue living this lie. She sinks into a chair, tears welling up in her eyes. I never meant to hurt you, she whispers, her voice breaking. Mean to hurt me? I echo, my anger barely contained. You shattered our family, our trust. You deserve to feel the pain you've caused. Without warning, I reach into my pocket and pull out a small box. This contains everything. Texts, photos, everything that proves your deceit. I toss it onto the coffee table, the contents spilling out like the pieces of our broken lives. She stares at the evidence, her hands trembling. Please, Eric, let's work this out. But there is nothing left to work out. The betrayal is too deep, the wounds too fresh. I turn away, my decision made. No, Lisa. It's over. I want nothing to do with you or your lies. As I walk out of the house, I feel a weight lift off my shoulders. The path of revenge I was on now seems clear, but also inevitable. I know that cutting ties completely is the only way to ensure she can no longer hurt me or Jamie. The final act of my plan unfolds swiftly. I file for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. The legal battles are swift, and soon, our assets are divided, each move meticulously calculated to leave her with nothing. I ensure that any joint accounts are closed, and my involvement in her life becomes non-existent. I sever all communication, blocking her number, removing her from my social circles, and making sure she cannot reach out to Jamie or Jake again. The act feels both liberating and hollow, a testament to the depths of human betrayal. One night, as I sit alone in my study, reflecting on the tumultuous events, my phone buzzes with a message from Jamie. "I miss Mom. Are you sure she won't come back?" I stare at the screen, conflicted emotions swirling within me. But my decision stands firm. "I'm sure, Jamie. This is for the best," I reply, my fingers trembling slightly. Weeks turn into months, and the scars of betrayal begin to heal, albeit slowly. Jamie and I rebuild our lives, finding solace in each other's company in the new beginnings that lie ahead. The memories of Lisa and Jake fade, replaced by the strength forged through adversity. Then, one unexpected day, I receive a package at my doorstep. It's a simple box with no return address. Inside, I find a single photograph, Lisa and Jake, smiling together, seemingly happy. Alongside it, a note: "I understand why you did what you did. I hope you find peace." I hold the photo, the weight of forgiveness pressing down on me. It's a gesture I never expected, a final piece of the puzzle falling into place. In that moment, I realized that revenge, while satisfying, was not the true path to healing. Letting go, truly letting go, is the only way to move forward. As I tear up the photograph, I feel a sense of closure. The cycle of betrayal and retribution has come to an end. Jamie and I embrace, our bond stronger than ever, built on trust and resilience. In the end, the deception that once threatened to destroy us becomes the catalyst for our liberation. We part ways with the ghosts of the past, stepping into a future untainted by lies and vengeance. The hatred that fueled my actions dissipates, replaced by a newfound peace and the promise of brighter days ahead.